How's it going, everybody? This video is how you can stand out against your competition and how you can appear to be an expert in your field. And there's 5 different areas that I really need you to focus on to put yourself ahead of your competitors and give you that advantage. So the first scenario is when you're talking with someone that has a mortgage. I think it's important for them to understand, you ask questions like, is this a 30-year mortgage? What's your payment? Does that include, taxes and insurance? And let's say with interest rates as low as they are in this current environment, people have mortgages ranging from, 2 to 4% right now. So when you have a mortgage, and a lot of people might not have money for life insurance, for example, but they believe paying extra on the mortgage is a good proposition for them. I think challenging those thought processes and saying, listen, instead of you putting an extra $100, $200 a month or an extra payment or however they're trying to achieve their financial goals, I'd really recommend you have life insurance because of your current financial position, give you a policy where it'll give you all your money back, give you living benefits, pay off your home early if you don't die because we give you all your money back. This would be a much better plan than paying extra on the mortgage. And the best part about it is your trial closing throughout the process. So you're testing them right off the bat by talking about their mortgage. And there's other places, anytime you can earn more than 2-4%, and when you think about their effective tax rate, when you go with your tax write-off for having a mortgage, if you have a 3% mortgage and you're in a 20% tax bracket, obviously your effective interest rate is going to be like 2.4%, somewhere in that neighborhood. So like anytime you could go earn higher than 2.4%, it wouldn't make sense to pay off your mortgage. Does that make sense to you, John and Mary? And they would agree, but you're giving some free advice. Free advice is how you become an expert, and free advice is how they don't feel like you're there to, just be a salesperson. You're there to actually help them and put them in a better position. This is a great tool that's worked for me over my career with financial services, and I think it's important for you to identify these 5 areas. The next thing is credit cards. A lot of people don't have $100, $200 a month for a life insurance policy, but they've got $800 a month to pay off their credit cards. If you don't slow down, ask them, what's your current interest rate on your credit card? A lot of times you'll hear 10%, 16%, 20%. And they've got this big burden that they're not even telling you about. But if you say, hey, right now I'm paying $800 a month on this big credit card bill. It's roughly, my blended rates are like 15%, and it's really something I want to focus on. I would say, great. One of the areas that I'd recommend is go to nerdwallet.com, do balance transfers, 0% for 18, 24 months, and really you'll start to chunk away your credit card much more significant, because right now you're paying all interest. So that's why your credit cards are going nowhere. Would you agree? Great. So yeah, write this down. And you start to give advice and they're writing it down, that means they're taking your advice. Does that make sense? Like you need to make sure and give them directions and see how they respond. Because then we're talking about nonverbal cues that you can read to see how effective you are in the home. So credit cards, nerdwallet.com, balance transfers, and then say, hey, John and Mary, instead of paying that $800 a month, pay $500, because all towards principal right now. And you can do it again here in 18, 24 months to do the credit card game, do balance transfers again and turn those over. But right now we can protect your family, so if something does happen, not only does it help pay off all your debts, but it helps pay off this credit card, and now we're in a better financial position. Would you agree? All of a sudden you've located premium, all of a sudden you seem like an expert. So the next scenario is current 401k. A lot of times you'll meet people that are putting 10% in their 401k, and they're either not getting a match, or maybe they're getting a match up to 5 or 6%. Well, one of the areas that you need to slow down and educate your clients on to make sure you sound like an expert and give them some more free advice is say, hey, listen, the best type of money is free money. The second best type of money is tax-free, and then tax-deferred, then taxed. So John and Mary, great job on contributing to your 401k. Since you get a 6% match, I would recommend you do 6% on your 401k, and then I would take the other 4% and start to develop a tax-free strategy, because right now taxes are low as they've ever been, and if you can pay on the seed versus the harvest and then take out tax-free distributions later, you're going to be in a much better financial position. Would you agree? Now we're trial closing into, tax-free retirement, index universal life type policies where they can overfund it, and you just located premium and policies that you didn't know they were. But if you slow down and talk about their current 401k position and how much they're contributing, you'll find premium, you'll be giving free advice, and then you always want to go over those 4 types of money, whether it's the free money is the best, then tax-free, tax-deferred, and tax, okay? So spend time on that, understand it, take notes, implement it into your closing every single time. The next scenario is retirement. So a lot of times when I'm dealing with people with retirement, you got to realize that there's over $1 trillion of orphan 401ks out there. So anytime people have them parked at a job that they left, and we're not asking good enough questions to locate the premium that gives them opportunity to protect their money, give them guaranteed lifetime income, give them some different solutions that can be very effective for their retirement options. If we don't spend time on the retirement section and give them some free advice and give them some understanding of what this market, where it's been, where it's going, know stats like, hey, the average bull market is roughly 7 years. The average bear market lasts maybe 1.5 years. We have exceeded the bear market for over a decade now. And it's just a matter of time where something could happen, whether it's a war, whether it's, the economy, whether all these foreign exchange type opportunities where the market can then turn and then you can lose money. So one of the most important things is, just like we've talked about hypotheticals with killing them on paper in regards to life insurance, when you can give a hypothetical what their money can look like and just give some free advice just to check interest. Most of you don't check interest enough on their retirement accounts to understand what's important to them when they want to retire, when they need the money, what are they doing with it. And this is an area where if you listen to the advanced market sales team and some of our prior trainings, you can really gain some expertise and have good conversations about it. Doesn't mean you're trying to sell anything on the spot. It means you're trying to check interest. And that's the land of opportunity. So spending time and saying, hey, are you familiar with the 4% rule? Are you familiar with Morningstar's current withdrawal rates and what that looks like? Morningstar came out with an article a little over a year ago that said a withdrawal rate should be 2.8% on your portfolio just because of the low interest rate environment. That means if you had, $1 million in your account, that's 28 grand a year of income. People grossly underestimate withdrawal rates. They're focused on returns instead of withdrawal rates. And what fixed index annuities do is they give them the highest amount of withdrawal rate without market risk. So these are things that you can talk to your clients about that can help drive up the value and make them seem like an expert. I can't tell you how many times I've been in houses where I'm having conversations, early conversations on any of these categories, and you know what they do? They reach over and they grab my business card and they look at my name. What is that? What is that a sign of? It's a sign of them saying, this guy is really resonating with me. It's hitting home. It's a buying sign. It just shows the clues that you might be, missing in the house. So spending time and making sure that you can have a proper discussion, just a discussion on their retirement accounts is going to have you stand out from the person that doesn't do it. I promise you. That's one of the most effective tools that you can use here at Family First Life. The last one is explaining life insurance, how it works. This is grossly missed, and without explaining life insurance, you're going to have a lot of shopping. I need to think about it. We're going to talk to some more people. And it's important when we're talking about selling simplified issue life insurance versus fully underwritten, because you can say, hey, I do traditional life insurance, I do mortgage protection, I do final expense to alleviate the burden on your family when you die. I also do retirement and income planning. When you're teeing yourself up early, when you first sit down with them, and then you start to have conversations about here's how life insurance works. I can give you the best price by, fully underwritten is where you do blood, urine, height, weight, get your medications, dig in your medical record, dig in your family's history. The problem with that, because of their build, because of the medications, because of the family history, the price that I would quote you would come back 3 or 4 times higher, or it can get declined, which can go on your Medical Information Bureau, which is like your credit report for health, and then every single insurance carrier can see it. And it's going to affect your ability to get insurance from this point forward. So John and Mary, the reason why I'm recommending simplified issue life insurance is because we can design it around your budget. I can ask you health questions. We still have to qualify, but the price will be the price, and we can fit it into your exact scenario that you're looking for. And this is why I'm not going down fully underwritten prices, what you see on the internet. This is why I'm trying to get you affordable pricing for the best program for your health, age, and financial position. Does that make sense, John and Mary? So now you've explained the difference between, the stuff they see online versus what they can truly qualify for, and that is how you're going to drive value. That's how they're going to know that you're dealing with an expert, and that is how you really eliminate, I need to think about it, I'm shopping, everything else. If you haven't seen the video on how to drive up emotion, that's going to be important for you. So if you can combine that emotion as well as being an expert in your field, you really are going to have tremendous value, and you're going to see your closing ratios go up tenfold, I promise. So thanks for your time. I look forward to talking to you soon.